Good
Oh,
morning, everyone. Oh,
what's
we
going
came
on,
out.
guys? Yep, yep. What's up,
We are
guys?
live.
We're live. Welcome and fuck you to all my haters. I don't give a fuck. Suck the nutsack, the sweat, whatever you want to do. How about you, Ella?
Oh, yeah, I feel pretty much the same. And I think it's going to be an exciting Saturday morning over here in the Philippines or in Zurich, wherever I am, right?
What's
Did
up,
you
Nico?
notice that
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne and Batman are never in the same room? Hint, hint. Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to the WTF Hate Crew. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Take it, Ella. Take it like you always do. Tear that shit up.
Well, first of all, I would like to talk a little bit about what has happened in the last 24 hours. And I think it's not even 24 hours, it's a little bit more or less. I'm not 100% sure, but I was told that a couple of guys out there are coming back into this community. They are more active. There are people who are going on each other's live streams again, and that is a good thing. Um, the biggest topic, of course, is Frank's exposure of the man behind the mask. Of course, I'm talking about myself here, and we will get into that in a few minutes or later on the show. And then the other topic, you can see it here, Gerry The Fairy, aka the Valencia Hobo. He came out with a live stream over on Havoc Master, and I listened to parts of that live stream, and I must say, Havoc Master is and I really mean that, or maybe not. He's a very intelligent, eloquent person who really should do more live streams. So now I saw that our good friend, the Valencia Hobo, has used a new avatar, and he called himself like Private Fuckstick or something like that. And I find that very funny, though. No offense meant,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I find it funny because you must have triggered him. You must have gotten under his skin. And I also saw over on Big Kef's that he left comments and is always mentioning you now. And it seems to me that he has a hard on for you right now, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I
I
don't
have
know.
a few explanations to that, but that's another topic that we will get into. I have spoken to my guys, and they think that somebody has to call him out. Somebody has to straighten him out. That little arrogant man from Armenia. That's the
Yeah,
topic of today, Mr. Frank and the Armenian hobo, or the Valencia hobo, as we call him now. And again, I want to say good morning to each and every one of you who is in the live chat right now, and of course to all the guys who will catch this podcast later on. WTF? How do you feel about that? About the whole situation with Gerry, the Valencia hobo, Mr. Refugee from Armenia. How do you feel about that? The guy has a hard on for you. It's basically like, for you or for him, you're basically like the John Doe number two. Because as you know, John Doe was the guy who got under his skin, and when Popeye got under his skin as well, and you are just the third person in this community who was able to pull that off. And I want to know from you, how did you do it? Because I want to become person number four. Um, the funny thing is this, since the Valencia hobo is the topic here, I heard him say something along the lines like, Alo must be that guy because there are just too many coincidences. And the URL really did it. And actually, that's a very interesting thing. But I just want to announce here that you guys should check out my channel next week, because I am going to start the series called How Did I Pull It Off? How did I create this masterpiece in the YouTube community. And I have to agree with Frank, because Frank said this is the most historic, most epic fucking event in YouTube history. And I absolutely agree with you, Frank. And I know you are listening to this. I absolutely agree with you. This indeed is the biggest fucking epic event in YouTube history. And I think it's even better than the whole Peter Vandever has left the Philippines saga. And I think it's even better than anything else that you have ever heard. I agree with you with that, but for a whole other set of reasons. Because I would like to encourage you, actually, Frank, to keep going. With the URL, with the name, with the podcast, with the FB accounts, with all that stuff. And I must say, it's good that you stick to your guns, because um, I think you are not the type of guy who is about to back down, and I really appreciate that. You said something that's very interesting, though. You said, uh, "Aloe, aloe, be man enough to just admit it." I hope, Frank, that you will be man enough to admit, when I'm done with this, that you were fooled. And please keep an open mind. This is all that I'm asking of people who believe that Frank's theory is right, because
Right,
I
right.
will present you with screen records. I'm going to present you the evidence. I have the timestamps, I have the login data of chats, emails, and everything else. And I will present you that, and then you will be the judge, and you will come to your own conclusions. This is interesting. A couple of days ago, everybody thought, hey, Frank got him. It's over. There was a big group of people, because dozens of fucking comments everywhere. He got him. Too many coincidences. It must be him. Okay. Now, that group has become smaller. Why? Because they heard me talk about this fucking masterpiece, and they just know Aloe is coming out with something really good. And therefore, I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen, because I want to know, how did he do it? And it's actually really looking good for Frank, because Frank absolutely has the upper hand here, okay? No doubt about that. I'm not trying to convince you it's not me, it's me, not denying it, not confirming it, because that's part of it. And I know that the people who fucking hate me and who wish that was me don't believe me. But I just want to ask, wait for another week, because I am going to put it all out there. I need to do the screen recording. I prepared it already. And I'm going to show you what really went down behind the scenes. And um, I will present that to you. I could actually solve all of this in one sentence only. I could show you something in like 30 seconds, and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
be poof. But I do not want to do that. I do not want to do that, because I just want to really build it up, and then it would be my biggest work so far. I
Your
have been doing that
masterpiece.
for a very long time now. Just want to remind you guys again, the red duffel bag incident, the Indian dude with the watch, and the reflection in CCTV cams, reflection, and stuff like that. And again, I am not here to convince you of it's me or it's not me. I'm just here to provide some entertainment. And Frank, I know you're listening to this. Um, I hope you will be man enough to come out and say, "Hey, I've been fooled. I have been made a total fool again, and I accept defeat." Okay, congratulations, Aloe. Once again, you effed me in the A. Okay, A stands for uh, not Aloe but Anus. So that's my announcement for today, and I think we got lots to talk about. WTF? Your turn.
Uh, you know what's so funny? I was just thinking of all the attention I'm getting from Gerry the Fairy, and I know you're listening, Gerry, because you must be infatuated with my ass. I don't know what it is. Hello? You think he has that big of a heart on for me? You think so,
I
Alan?
think it has different. It has different. There are different reasons. First of all, it dates back to the encounter you had with him over on Big Cats.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was very. It actually was very civil, and then you said something, he said something, and then he lost a little bit his temper. He was not at
yeah,
home; he was outside,
yeah.
and he just showed us who he really is. Is a little bit. It's a little bit an angry man there, but he
You
doesn't
know,
really want you to know that. I was always thinking,
yeah,
why do I not publish the old email? No, not the emails, the old chat logs that I had with him that when we were still
right.
quote unquote friends. And I think that's one of the reasons why he never really openly bashed me, when we talked about some issues there. But I thought, I'm still a gentleman, am I not? I would never do something like that. But again, I think that he has a hard on for you because you are taking the John Doe strategy where you just fucking talk down to him, where you
Right,
interrupt him, where you say,
right.
shut the
Yeah,
fuck up, you fucking Armenian terrorist. Shut the fuck up, you fucking used car salesman. I don't want to even know you fucking know it all. And he hates that. He doesn't like
yeah.
that. And for a guy who doesn't care about the YouTube drama, for a guy who doesn't care about nothing, he seems to be quite sensitive, and he takes offense in that, And I always
Right.
thought
You know what I
it's
was
just it's just
thinking?
entertainment, right? Right, right.
Yeah, right. It's all about who's famous for that word? It's only entertainment. Whenever he says that, it's getting to him. Okay. He always gives this perception that it's not a big fucking deal to him, but it does get to him. And proof, ladies and gentlemen, is in the pudding. The other day when he was out there on the fucking street in Dumagetti, he got his ass handed to him live. I told him to take his bitch ass and kneel down in front of his significant other and take orders. You know, that's what I did. I mean,
I'm not even
what?
sure if she's older than him or not. I don't even know who is older there.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah. I don't
Jerry
know.
has been a very long time in the Philippines already, so he gets orders from his ate.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's fucking funny. But I've been analyzing, and I'm very honored, by the way, that you're showing my avatar. I really, really love that you're doing this advertising for me. I really do love it. It really, I'm
You know
honored.
what? He probably thinks it's getting under your skin. It would
Nah,
never
yeah,
cross his mind that he looks like a guy who has really
hmm,
been riled up about something. Because why would you beg another dude who's
hmm,
basically absolute Syria doing live streams to get on the show? Because he must have prepared this. He must have downloaded your avatar and changed the
hmm,
name to Private Fuckstick, and then
yeah,
had to jump on there. He didn't really have anything to say. He just wanted to say, "Now I'm going to get even with WTF and this hate crew. This is payback time now." And you know what was funny? We, the Discord guys, were talking about this. Like the guy was like getting like 10 viewers. And I made a comment. It's probably like 40% of our guys, and everybody was laughing because I counted like 5 guys,
hmm,
including myself, who were at some point listening to it. And then I checked the numbers of people who were listening in. It's like 5 dudes were from our side, and the rest was like the hobo and the Mongo on the panel. So that makes 7 people. So there were like 3 or 4 more other guys. And then the other, the Australian guy, the the one who believes in fake diplomas. That dude had a wrench on there, another fucking complete zero. It was basically like loserville. And the best part of it is when the refugees said, we are very picky with the people that we meet. I mean, like picky. I don't think that you could or should ever use the word picky, because based on your fucking life story, your background, your
right, exactly.
everything about you, uh, picky and being you, it just doesn't go together. It really doesn't make sense. That was the best part, and we had a blast listening to this stuff because it was quite entertaining and amusing. I mean, the fucking pseudo elitism that you hear there on that live stream coming from people who are absolute fucking failures. You know, like live in the middle of fucking nowhere, want to make it look like everything has been done by choice, uh, have nothing to be proud of, basically, and still believe that they are somehow the go-to guys when it comes to the Philippine YouTube scene here. You know, like I asked the hobo once, how do you
Yeah.
measure success? Because you know, a lot of people throw out these words, use these words. That guy is a loser. That crew is a piece of shit, loser crew. These people are losers. You know, fine, I get it. You know, everybody is a loser. Okay, but how do you measure success? And how do you do that? And I asked him, you know, it was only a question, and I put forward a few factors, issues like, um, do you measure success by educational achievement? Do you measure success by the number of properties you own, money, your job, the kind of family background you come from? How do you measure success? And he didn't really answer that. So I just want to mention how do you do that? How do you measure success? And because you could look at it from every angle and in every fucking department, because we know who they are, we see them, and we don't really need to prove who we are because we already know that they are the fucking losers. I mean, you got a guy over there who is like working menial jobs in fucking Idaho or Indiana, or I don't know. I think it's the India. They refer to him as the Indiana stock buy. That guy is not a winner. And the other dude, the one that pretends to be some sort of a big shot and know it all, who got it all figured out, or at least thinks he got it all figured out, you don't look like a winner. You don't live in a place like that. You don't have the woman or the family background. So how do you measure success, and how do you arrive at that uh, point where you call other losers? Because is it the money? You lose. Is it your family background? You lose. Is it the places you go to and live in? You lose. Is it your job that you had? I mean, being like a male secretary for some fucking Chicago kike. I mean, you lose again. So what is it actually that uh, gives you the right to call other people losers? And you know, I have no problem with that, but I just wonder, how do you measure that? Is it money? Is it the looks? Because we see you don't have money, you don't have the looks, and you are definitely not with some playboy bunny. So is it the house you rent that you're proud of, or you got because you got an SUV, or you were able to pay that in cash, or is it the Honda Click that you own? What exactly makes you a winner? Because when we are the losers, you must be the winner. And that same goes out, you know, that same theory also applies to the guy over in Pantayan. I mean, everybody is a motherfucker. Everybody is a fucking loser. I mean, the guy is like 60 plus years old
Right.
and has no contact with his family. The son-in-law is in jail for the possession of child pornography, and the dude just bought a fucking shack in the middle of fucking nowhere. How do you come to the conclusion that you are a winner and everybody is a loser? Because it can't be the money, it can't be the looks, it can't be the women that you are with, it can't be the career or non-career rather that you had back in the West. And you have no education to speak of. You didn't go to fucking Harvard or Princeton. Is there any Princeton grad in the chat right now here? I mean, you guys are fucking failures and you know it. You're just down there in the gutter and you fucking know it. So don't confuse us with your guys, because we are really not the same. The guys that you hang out with, they were in fucking jail, they run from the law, they are fucking criminals. Don't talk about being picky. You cannot be fucking picky. Look, do you have a fucking mirror at home? People like you cannot be picky. That's the reason why you ended up with the women that you guys ended up with. It's basically, and I'm sorry when I say that, and I don't want to offend anyone, but it's basically the leftover that nobody else wanted here, right? So I always try to be a nice guy, but how, and that's the question again, how do you measure success? Because I don't see it on your side. No money, no women to be proud of, and your family background just fucking sucks. You guys are like vagabonds, like low life vagabonds, uh, basically gypsies. I mean, the other guy is ethnically like a gypsy, and the other dude in Bantayan is basically like some sort of an American gypsy, like from New York to Seattle to Hawaii and then to Cebu and then now to Bantayan and then ended up in a fucking shack. The worst that actually could happen with him is that somebody goes to a fucking law office and petitions the Bureau of Immigration to get that person kicked out based on all the info that we have, based on all the threats that he made. And that's something that he would be very scared of, being on a tourist visa, knowing very well that he's never going to get a 13A because he can't marry the woman that he is living with, because else he would need to, you know, cash out at least 150, 200,000 pesos, and that's money he doesn't have. And it would be a very long process. He might be able to marry her when he is 70 years plus, after he renovated the whole fucking house. And he knows that his life now is based in the Philippines. That makes him somehow vulnerable. And I know he's going to listen to this and he's going to come out and trying to fucking expose me again. But that will be another story on another live stream on another channel.
Right.
So check out my channel next week, the evidence and how I got this masterpiece, how I planned it and how I executed it. I see we got Nico on the channel here. Say hi.
Nico!
You guys give me way too much fucking credit. I'm smiling because I'm like, well, thank you, fucking Aloe, and thank you, WTF. Well, let me tell you, I was sitting here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here listening to Aloe, and Aloe was actually, you know what? I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Right.
Aloe may fucking get under your skin, and this is the first time that he was really, really nice, and I give him mad respect. Me, I'm not a half as fucking nice today. I'll tell you why. Half of you fucking people that are sitting here that Aloe was talking about, you fucking are all fucking pathetic. And I'm not sitting here trying to be on the show and trying to, I have sat back and Aloe has always asked me before WTF, and I have to be honest, Aloe's always asked me, oh, well, Nico, half of you fucking characters, all right? And I have to be honest, because you know what's funny, Aloe and Whiskey Tango?
Yeah.
When we say something, it's fucking offensive. When they something, we have to accept it. Fuck half of you trolls and half of you fucking pathetic people that are sitting in fucking Philippines or another country. Aloe is nice. Aloe, I'm gonna tell you why. Half of these guys say what they say. I'll tell you why.
Did you just cut out there?
Hey, buddy. Hey, there you go.
Oh, fuck. Popeye's here. Hold on.
He's coming back. Did you scare him, Popeye? Fuck.
I tend to do that, Holy shit. He got so scared he jumped off.
Yeah, he's here back. Here he is.
Yeah,
There you
fuck
go.
Popeye. Fuck Popeye. Sit the fuck back and shut up, right? Listen.
All right, you old cunt. Say what you got to say.
All right. One of the biggest things that Aloe said was half of these people, they talk so much shit. And Aloe, you know why they talk so much shit? I'll tell you why. Because half of them have to justify why the fuck they're so fucking, what are they called? Retired, okay? They're entitled to say what they want. I come in here and I get a message, hey, if you want to come on, feel free. One of the biggest things that I hate, and I don't hate many things, is half of these guys, they think that they're so fucking uh retired, and I don't have to be on fucking WTF and talk to Aloe, but yet the fuck you're here. 49 people, 55 people watching, and they're fucking here. Okay. The other thing that I don't understand, and they're entitled to theirs, I'm entitled to mine. The reason they hate Aloe so much, they hate Popeye, they hate WTF, they hate all the people.
Damn, you know what that's like? That's like getting a hand job or a blow job, and then the girl stops and just takes off.
I know what I mean. He's cutting out there again. I think he has some
Yeah,
sort of problem with the microphone. Let's wait until
yeah,
he gets back.
yeah.
And
He's more
welcome
than welcome.
Popeye to the live stream. Welcome Popeye.
Hey,
Hey
Popeye.
guys, you're talking about your favorite subject, how
Hey, there's a Lou in the audience. Hey, Lou. Sorry, Popeye.
your masterpiece, Aloe. So, let's pile on. When I opened my channel again, like today, I was going through, I was, vetting all the comments. And I came across a comment that was posted 2 years ago that I've never seen. And it's from a channel called Frank One Nut. And in this comment, there's some very salacious and titillating accusations. Okay. And I figured I'd come on here and read it because at the end of the comment, I was asked to pass this along to Frank.
Oh,
And the comment reads as such: I am one of Frank's so-called 200 conquests, the narcissist little man from Seattle. Do you remember all the Seattle incidents?
yeah.
Now, if you need information as to why he left, it may be true. He was always citing up complaints about his fellow workers, but one day he supposedly got caught having sex with female dogs, and with 6 weeks he retired and left the state. I did not see it or the pictures, so there are pictures out there, this guy's saying, of him having sex with dogs, and only heard it third hand. But he never filed another complaint and was just gone. For his entire career, he fought with every member of every team, and he was assigned to as well. No farewell party. They were just glad to see him go. Tell him the redhead said hello, and nobody ever said they missed him, the demented little man he was said to be. All right. Now, so what I did is I clicked on Frank One Nut, and the channel was made in 2019 and is still there, still active.
Mhm.
Right. So some redhead from Seattle sends his love, Frank. Okay. And I was just curious if Frank would like to address the accusations of bestiality with female dogs.
You know what I think? You know what I think about this, and I would like to ask the others as well. Maybe they can go first. But when you hear this, and also the guys in the chat, what goes through your mind? Because what I'm going to tell you now is my honest opinion about what I just heard. But I don't want to go first because I keep it to myself until you guys are out with your own opinion. Maybe Nico is back if you can hear us.
Nico.
Hello?
Yeah, go
Hello,
ahead,
hello?
brother.
Yeah. I would
You
like to.
guys, you guys can hear me?
Did you hear the comment that Popeye just read out loud?
Yes, sir.
What would you say? What goes through your mind? And don't bash Frank if you
Yes, sir.
don't feel like or make ridicule him. Honest opinion. When you hear something like this, what goes through your mind?
Fuck that, Aloe. We're not a fucking PG channel. We're rated R.
No, no, but no.
Because I'm
I'll
going
tell
to
you. I'll
tell you
tell
the
you why.
honest on opinion.
Yeah, I'll tell
Yeah,
you why he says that WTF. Because
yeah,
I'm not really like that. I pick and choose certain battles,
yeah. I
and
know
but
you are. You're a
I
military
appreciate that
guy.
at the same time. Listen, because hey, Al's been around a while and he's been listening to a lot of things. Listen, Al, hey guys, everybody, I would never, and it's not because I'm afraid to. It's just some people they like that recognition, and
Exactly.
they like that fact that you talk a lot about them. This is what I say. What a Popeye says. Popeye, I have to
No, I
tell you.
didn't say it.
No, no, you didn't. No, no. Let me rephrase that. You didn't say it. You read it off as what somebody said.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you fucking sensitive bitch. Fuck
Hey,
off.
listen, you cunt. Don't get me hung by the
You,
yardarm before
bro.
midnight, all right?
Are you guys married?
We should be. We should fucking be. Listen, this is the way I look at it. The way I look at it is if someone says this much stuff and I have not seen a video against it, that means to me that there is a lot of tangible for those people that are illiterate because I'm fucking illiterate as shit. If you don't understand what illiterate means, I understand, but tangible means things that you can actually see or feel or see, like see. If
Or touch.
you, if you touch, thank you. If you can see it, touch it, and feel it, then it must be true. And if you don't see anybody contradicting it, I will tell you that most of it's probably true. And
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that everyone's going to come back for those that it offends. Uh,
We lost him
God,
there again. WTF? What did you think when you heard this comment? The comment that was read out
Oh,
loud.
there he is. Oh, I think he's trying to fix it. It's okay. What do I think? Oh man,
Yeah.
I tell you the truth, I don't know what to think. You caught me off guard on that one, Popeye. I
Okay.
mean, fuck. But
It's a
go
lot
ahead,
to
Alu.
take in. It's a lot
Yeah,
to
it
take in.
is.
I would like to
Yeah.
ask Popeye here, when you read that comment, what went through your mind?
this is what went through my mind. When I read about the dog scenario, I laughed. Okay. And I said, maybe that was to get my attention. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I read that he fought with every team member and wrote people up every day, I said, dude, that's true to form. That fits Frank 100%. No friends, always writing people up, bang, bang. It matched up. And when he called him a narcissist, I had to agree with it. And the reason why I say he's a narcissist, because whenever he feels like you take control away from him,
Right.
he goes fucking ballistic. It's the worst thing you will face the wrath of God if you take control of a situation away from a narcissist. Go ahead, I dare you to tell a narcissist you don't have control of this and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
They will explode.
I tell you what I felt and what I thought. And I really mean this. There's no sarcasm in this, and it's my honest opinion. I believe this. And I tell you why. Because usually, if it would be for any other guy, I would say, man, that's the usual trolling. That's just bullshit talking. And I know a lot of you guys out there listening to this, we just dismiss this as the usual BS talk that they hear on a live stream. But don't go there. Give me a second to explain. First of all, we do know that when that guy worked in Seattle, like a shit job, He was always complaining and complaining and complaining. He even complained about the fucking gays in the park area leaving condoms and shit like that because there was a Seattle newspaper article where he was complaining about all kinds of stuff. And that's what he actually do or that's what he does in this community here as well. He always complains, he always reports people, he's very riled up about things, and he will come out with another vlog in a few minutes where he says Alo is bashing me because he has been exposed, and then he will use that angle again to somehow bash me, and that's it's very predictable. Okay, he's very predictable. Alo is very angry now. He's teaming up with the hate group Popeye and Nico and WTF. It's his way of coming after me. That's all he has. So I'm putting it out there because I know this guy. So therefore, I'm telling you, based on what I have seen here and knowing what we know about him, I say that's absolutely true. And I'm not saying that he basically had sexual intercourse with the dog, as funny as that might sound, but I think he must have been rubbing one out in a public CR or in a hidden corner somewhere, and then the dog was with him, and then another worker must have caught him, and then the story was kind of like, he was fucking the dog and stuff like that. I wouldn't go as far as saying that he had anal intercourse with the dog. No, but he might have been rubbing one out, and the dog would have been maybe licking his balls or something like that. Because he has a very, and I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about crazy fucking people here, okay? So keep in mind that this is a guy who felt devastated when his small dog, Papita, I think he called it, when that dog fucking died. He felt fucking devastated about it. You guys remember that, right? So there is a strange angle there, and I must say, I 100% believe this story with no sarcasm whatsoever, because there are people who are like that. There are people, I mean, when you go on the fucking internet, you find all kinds of fucking sick shit. Why not among us as well? I mean, I know that you guys think that I'm the biggest fucking pervert here on YouTube, and I'm not going to deny or confirm that. But you think or think whatever you want. That doesn't really matter to me. But the thing is, what you just heard here, I would fucking sign that. I would put fucking money on that this must have happened. I mean, he's probably one of the most obsessive, sickest fucking minds that are out there, in total denial of the overwhelming truth and facts around him. One time, just a few contradictions. One time, he tries to make him look like the guy who is defending the honor and dignity of Filipinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these other guys are abusing Filipinos and stuff like that. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't give a shit about that, because we know that he has talked down to Filipinas and other women for a very long time now. He has a lot of fucking issues with women in general, and I could send you thousands of fucking screenshots when he was in Brazil, when he was attacking his former ex-girlfriend. He said, and I quote, and he said that in on live streams, I quote, I will fuck her and make her pay for every single dollar that I gave to her. This is not the guy who is defending the dignity of Filipinos. He is only talking about that because he wants you to side with him when he goes after the Bama guy. He treats people just like that. And the funny thing is, he claims that I was threatened. One Nut was threatened. We have fucking dozens of videos where he, the strangest video was when he once threatened me. There was a piece of paper, and then some red color would drip onto the paper. It somehow like making it look like as if it was blood. And then he would say, Dave Phelps. And then there's a drip of red color on going down there, dripping on the piece of paper. And then he would say, Alo the Winter. And then another drip of red color. I mean, who fucking does that? Keep in mind, we are dealing with a uh, fucking crazy guy. And the funny thing is, he thinks we are the crazy dudes.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
it's just like a upside fucking down. Because keep in mind, believe it or not, every single one on here in real life is totally fucking different. Decent guy, normal careers, normal families. But when you look to the other side, one dude was in jail. The other dude might get in jail. And then there's the other guy who comes from a family of fucking pedophiles. One family member in jail, child pornography, porn possession, and no contact to the family, no regular contact to four of his grandchildren. Uh, Basically fled the country from because there is a lawsuit. Now, nearly 70 years old, ends up somewhere on a remote island in the Philippines. Uh, you see it, right? I mean, if you don't see
Yeah.
it, then you
Oh
might be
no.
somehow okay. It's really that obvious. It's really that obvious. And you know what they are going to do? Aloe is angry. Aloe is nervous. Aloe is riled up, and there is only one reason for it, because Aloe is that guy. He has been exposed. That's why he's so angry. A couple of weeks ago, there was a video out there where they talked about all of us are obese. And all of a sudden, I'm a skinny, small guy. I mean,
Yeah.
what's going on? Am I the Indian guy, or I am the small guy, or am I somebody else? I mean, once I'm obese, then I'm a small, skinny guy. Well, make up your fucking mind. It always changes. And the fact that they are going to be called out and look like total fucking fools. Once I explain all of this, it doesn't even, there's no concept whatsoever. They can't even think of it. Everything I say now is just a lame attempt because I am nervous because I got caught. That's how they think. And when I took down my channel, it is because they think I was afraid. I am going to show you that it was all orchestrated. It was all orchestrated, and I documented it because I knew that they wouldn't believe it, because it's really that good. And again, I don't want you guys to harass anybody, but I know you will. And you will then harass somebody who has absolutely nothing to do with it, absolutely not related to me. Believe me, there are more than 1, 2, or 10,000 Filipino Swiss people in Switzerland. It's like saying there's a Filipino Australian in Australia. He lives in, let's say, Perth. Of course, that person must be related to this other Filipino. The Filipinos don't always hang out with each other just because they have a Filipino background or are part Filipinos. It's just like saying that all kikes in the US know each other. Just because Seth Style is a fucking Jew doesn't mean that he knows Abraham Mirkovitz from Idaho or from San Francisco. Sorry, Seth, you know what I mean, right? So there is no such thing. And they really think that they are onto something. I mean, you do whatever you want to do. Just keep in mind, if that was really me, how come that person never took down his channel, the FB account? And you know what you are going to say? If he would take it down, it would look like as if it's really him. But then you say, Allah took down his own channel. Don't you know that we play these tricks all the time since years now? And I know you're not going to believe me because you really think you're onto something. Again, it doesn't matter, because you think that I'm going to go away because you are going to record all of this and send it to whoever you want. Please be my guest. Get your fucking voice recorders and say, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will rape you, I will rape you, I will rape you, I will rape you. Put that on a soundbite and send it out to every single one of these people if you want, but that's on you.
That's right.
How do you think that your quote unquote historic exposure of Out of the Winter, how did that change the course of this channel and of my channel? It didn't. Am I not still here? You all talked about poof, he will be gone once he is exposed. It's going to, I quote again, damage his business interest. Do whatever the fuck you want. Okay? Do whatever you want and send it out there and flood the fucking internet and YouTube with all that hate stuff. Because there's one thing I want you to know. I'm very proud and always was very proud of everything I have done and said on the internet, including the threats that I made over the last 7 fucking years. And I hope you get that on record, and I hope you send it to whoever you want. Because in a week from now, you're going to bow down and say, fucking the winter did it again. And it's indeed a fucking masterpiece. Because the people who are egging him on, the Bantayan guy, who are egging him on and who are supporting him, is now getting smaller. Because before, every time he will come out with the Out of the Winter is exposed video, everybody will go, hey, you got him. Frank owns Aloe now. That's what they said. Now we don't see that anymore. People say, wait a second, maybe he is on to something here. Because right now, the one nut guy has the upper hand. It's really looking good. It's the same dude. The age matches, the lifestyle matches. We checked the hands and the watch and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the details. Look at the birth dates. Look at the family members. Look at everything you can find and listen to the voices. And I know you're going to say, Aloe is using a fucking voice changing software and stuff like that. But did it ever occur in your mind that dude is probably not even in the Philippines? And I can prove to you where I am at. How does that add up? I don't know. Maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a sister, maybe it's whoever, right? But then the whole theory about the watches and about the traveling would fall apart. Why do you think that there's any relation here? And I know you saw everything on the internet, and even my own guys come to me and say, man, if I would not know you, Aloe, I would fucking bet it is you. And I talked about this with one of my guys, Gerry Rizzo. And when one nut came out with the URL video, Gerry was like, now at this point, to be honest with you, Aloe, I have my doubts too. And I said, that's perfect. Let's do a show together. Let's do a live stream probably by next week. Come on my fucking live stream. And everybody on here, by the way, is invited to join. And let's talk about it. And it's going to be fucking epic. It's going to be a masterpiece. And again, I always said I'm going to talk about this for weeks and months to come. Am I proud about it? Am I almost obsessed about this topic? Yes, I am. But that makes us two already in the community, because the other guy on Bantayan is just as obsessed as I am about this fucking exposure of Batman. Because you are Batman if you are Bruce Wayne. The thing here is, I'm not Batman. Therefore, I cannot be Bruce Wayne. And we will get into details next week. Look forward to that.
So, Aloe, what I've learned out of all of this is that Filipinos eat dogs, and I guess Americans fuck them, right?
Well, that would be a good title for the live stream, actually. Episode 10.
Oh, that's good.
And let's look at this. Pepita was a female dog, right? That's what he got so upset about.
Yeah.
Okay, so if Pepita was a female dog and this guy is so fucking distraught, you know, I have to jump to the conclusion that this might be true.
I mean, it is true. I tell you, it is true because when I went to high school, there was a story. Everybody who joined that school, I actually went to a boarding school. I didn't stay there too long though, but Bobby knows the story and the details about that. I went to a boarding school, and the story was, and it was kind of like the legend of that school, that there was a girl years ago who was you know uh, went to the same school, and she had a golden red river. That I think that's the name of those dogs,
A
and
golden
she put,
retriever.
yeah, that kind of dog, and she put Nutella on her vagina and then masturbated, and then she let the dog lick her vagina. That was how the story goes, and everybody heard
God,
about
that's
that story.
fucking nasty shit.
And it is fucking nasty. I would have used Skippy peanut butter. I know where you're coming.
Oh
I don't like
man,
Nutella. So that's the story
Nutella, fuck.
everybody heard about, and it somehow became a legend, like a urban legend, and everybody who goes to that fucking school hears that story about that
Mhm.
girl who got her pussy licked by a dog putting Nutella on her, you know what. So and there are definitely people out there. I mean, in Switzerland, and it's not a Swiss problem, by the way. I need to defend the honor of Switzerland here. In Switzerland, there are guys that get caught in farms fucking cows in their asshole, and and it's really true. It's really true. Google
Damn.
it. Google it.
Well,
And
you know what's funny,
couple of
Aloe?
weeks ago, let me just add this.
Yeah,
Couple of weeks
sure.
ago, there was an uproar in
Hmm.
Switzerland because they had an event called uh, the championship blowing event. So they would invite 10 girls, and then you could and all the guys would get a blowjob, and then everybody would rate the girls, and then the winner would be considered the blowjob queen. And if you don't believe me, Google that blowjob competition, Switzerland. The place is Oberentfelden. Oberentfelden is a place that I know. It's a small town in the province of Canton Aargau. Blowjob Queen 2022. And I mean, the women politician went fucking nuts over it. And, but the law enforcement and the authorities couldn't do anything because it's perfectly legal. And everybody was doing it just for fun. And, and the organizer said they even had more girls who wanted to join, more than the 10 blowjobbers. I don't even know if that's the right term, but it's a crazy fucking place. You should visit it.
God dang. You know what? You're gonna laugh, but in relation to that, I have a friend that used to work on a dairy. They called it an A dairy. They got B dairies back in the States. And he said that some of the guys that would help would sit there with the baby calves and sit there and just pull down their pants and get a blowjob, and I'm sitting there, man, you're a nasty fuck. He goes, no, they're there at the dairy all the time. They don't have a life, so that's all they get. I'm going, man, there's a lot more shit you realize that's going on. I tell you
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot, and
Yeah,
they get prosecuted for animal
yeah,
cruelty. When you fuck a
yeah,
cow in the ass in Switzerland, that goes under animal cruelty.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
and we will never know if the cow was consenting to that, right? So
Fuck, fucking hell.
so do so WTF? Do I get a big thank you?
Yeah, big thank you.
And do you know what you're thanking me for?
No,
Uh,
who the fuck would thank you?
I
yeah.
brought the topic of bestiality to your
Oh,
beloved channel.
hey, you know what? Uh, it's all game, man. That's what this channel. I mean, fucking Frank, I didn't know that shit. And then I know a lot of people in the audience are saying, "Why aren't we talking about the Hobgoblin and all that?" Fuck, this show we're gonna talk about everything. It's all game. They're all fucktards. Fucking Barry's probably trying to plot his next mission, where he's gonna fucking run. You know that same old shit. But oh, Big Kev's in the house. What's going on? He may not like this. He's prefers PG rated shows. But anyways, yeah,
It's
fucking
a little PG rated, man. It's like, and you know, the best thing about this, you might think I make this up, but I make this shit up. I mean, you all know
yeah,
how to use Google. Uh,
yeah,
Google it.
yeah.
Oberentfelden, Switzerland, blowjob competition, and fucking cows in Switzerland, something like that. And you will find tons of fucking articles there. Because to be honest with you, the asshole of a cow actually really looks like a pussy.
I
And
don't
I
know
want
what
you
that.
guys to know.
I don't know.
Man, you guys, I mean, you have cows in the US, right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
cows
I'm
in
sorry,
yeah.
I never inspected a cow's vagina. I am not experienced in such
Only Aloe can get that detailed about the subject. Oh my! You just ruined it for me. You just ruined it. I will never look at a cow the same ever again. I'm gonna see one
There's
if I
even
do.
speaking of cows, there's so many fucking flashbacks right now. There is a place in Switzerland. It's called
Oh
Fribourg.
fuck!
Fribourg.
Yeah.
Fribourg is a French-speaking area of Switzerland, and they say that the cows in Fribourg are more beautiful than the girls in Fribourg. And I wonder, and I'm fucking kidding you. And they say that when you see that the cows are more beautiful than the girls, then you know you are in the canton of Fribourg. And I wonder, where does that really come from? Because in the olden times, on these fucking Swiss Alps, you had these fucking goat herds and the people who would be staying up there for fucking months and tend to the cows. And what do they do there? I think they might have developed a very strange emotional bond to the animals that they care of. And back then, they must have fucking fucked the cows. I mean,
Oh
where else does this
God
fucking thing come
damn!
from? And the Fribourg cows, by the way, that they're very beautiful, strong cows. That their fur
You know what,
is,
Aloe? Are you
is
rubbing
black
one
and
out
white.
while you're talking this shit? I know you, fucking sick
I
fucker.
got a little bit distracted, but we have to
Oh, you
provide
fucker!
content for Frank too, because he thinks he is the dog fucker. He will rebuttal this, saying that we are the cow fuckers. So it's fucking on now. All gloves come off.
Oh God! So Nico, you back with us, buddy?
For me,
Yeah, you
yeah,
should be.
yeah.
Speak up, son.
Well, no, I'm not just listening about cow fucking and dog fucking. I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for everybody. I'm listening, and I'm like, wait, where did we get to fucking cow fucking and dog fucking?
That
But I
that's
will,
Aloe.
touch up on something Aloe said. Okay,
All right.
both Popeye and Aloe. One of the biggest thing is it just blows my mind. I mean, I keep saying this, that even if Aloe said the truth at the end, what the fuck's Aloe talking about? He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And then even if Popeye said the truth, oh well, he hasn't been here in fucking 30 years and 20 years and whatnot. And that's the thing that I don't get. It's funny how you guys be like, hey, remember when this guy said this and that guy said this? They said it. And then when you guys say it, oh, what the fuck's Aloe talking about? Oh, blah, 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 blah. He's fucking, hiding behind the avatar. And then Popeye fucking, yeah, blah, blah. That's what I'm talking about. It's sad that half of these guys, that you guys use all the stuff they say, and nobody pays attention to that shit. Nobody gives a fucking rat's ass what the fuck you guys are saying, because they are only following what they want to, not the truth. And I gotta tell you, you guys might hate half the people on this channel, and me, that's fine. But it doesn't matter, because half of these guys, if not all of them, me, I don't say shit because half of you guys are not worth it. I will follow what they say, but they're saying shit that you guys have said. And You don't like it, but you'll come back and say Aloe doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And Aloe has made it clear he is going to irritate your the like the muscle, that muscle in your asshole that makes you want to fucking go shit. He's gonna irritate
the
that fucking shit.
sphincter.
Yeah. And then you guys gonna be like feeling that fucking pain forever. The same pain you guys have been feeling when fucking Popeye left and came back, and you guys are like, "Oh, Popeye, I wish Popeye was back and Aloe was back, and all of a sudden they're back, and you're all fucking bitching and complaining. They're fucking back, and you're still fucking complaining. So that's okay. Feel the fucking burn, baby, because it feels like a sunburn that won't go away, and that's
So,
okay.
so Nico, I got a question for you, bro, man. If I spread what they call
The truth?
hemorrhoid cream all over Aloe, would he disappear?
Well, hell no, hell no. Listen, Popeye and fucking Aloe is like a fucking hemorrhoid that you don't fucking want, but you get every fucking month, and then when you finally get the hit, you're like, fuck, where's the ointment? Yeah, Aloe and fucking Popeye and WTF is a fucking ointment.
I would
Oh,
like
that's
to.
funny.
I want to say something that about your statement there, Nico. You mentioned that people hate us, and I think in this community, being hated is actually a good thing because I don't
Yes,
want to be buddies with people who beat up women, take advantage and abuse kids, and then people who are basically half in, half out of jail and run from the law. So if those
Exactly.
people fucking
yep,
despise you, you know where you are on this big map of morality and YouTube community and whatever you want to call it, because that's just the fact. Because at the end of the day, you just don't like what we say. But the thing is, we don't like what you do. There's a big difference
yes,
in that. Because you guys don't even know half of the fucking panel here. You don't even know their real names. So how can you claim that you know us, that you know what we are all about, that you know how we are in real life? Because you just don't. But we, on the other hand, we see you, we know how you look like. We know the pattern of abuse that you have shown us over the last 5+ years. We witnessed that. We have read the criminal records and affidavits. We have read the information that's out there about you. And we heard all these things coming out from your mouth. Because when you go on a social media platform, FB, YouTube, you name it, people will start digging and you are basically under public scrutiny and people will find out about your criminal past. So again, being hated in this community is probably the best thing that can happen to you because it means that you are still one of the good guys. And I know people will mock that statement, but criminals, they always think that they are better and there is nothing wrong with their behavior. They have 100,000 reasons to point at the others and say, but he did that too. And look who is talking. But then again, it's all just talk. They will be judged by what they did to the people around them, to the people they have been abusing for so many fucking years. I would like
All
to
right.
ask the panel here a question,
Uh-huh.
and that goes also for the guys in the live chat. For around a week now, you have heard the news about all of the winter being exposed, and people out there have been providing evidence. They showed pictures, they showed links, they played podcasts, they gave you information, they showed you URLs and gave you an explanation to that. It has been discussed on different live streams, and of course, the number one guy who is behind this, of course, is One Nut himself. He probably has put out like 10 live streams and 10 vlogs. Some of them are taken down, but most of it is still up there. I would like to ask you, the guys on the panel, is it me or is it not me, and why? And the guys in the chat, if you think the exposure is correct and real, then I would like you guys to press a 1. That's for yes, All of the Winter is that other guy, the one that Frank has put out. Or 2, if you think no, it is not him, and maybe a short explanation of why you believe so. And if you can't make up your mind, because it's really for some it's a hard choice, then press 3, and that would mean it could go both ways. It's him or it's not him. But I would like to ask you first, Nico. What do you think? You have seen all that stuff coming out, the rumors. Is it that I have been exposed? Yes. Why? No. Why?
No, I don't think it's you because number one reason, it's because you're not going to reveal yourself until it's worth it. And to conclude to that, it's because none of them are worth it, to be honest with you. None of them. They just want to feel that glory behind the fucking what's that word called? I'm trying to find the accomplishment, and I apologize, it's not the word, but that glory of saying I found who Aloe is. And
Satisfaction,
yeah, that
maybe.
they thank you. That satisfaction of saying, but you know what, Aloe, you have been consistent, and
Right.
until you're ready, it's not going to happen. So yeah, I disagree that they can.
So you will put in a 2. You cut out there for a second, but Nico puts in a 2 and says no, it's not me. I would like to go over to Popeye. What do you think? And I think you mentioned a little bit something on the live stream the last time. Did you change your mind about that? Do you still think it's not me, and why?
Okay, it's not you because 2 reasons. First reason, very simple. I know what a prankster you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say congratulations to you. Second reason is I know for a fact at night you walk into your bedroom when nobody's around, you open the closet door, you step in, you close the closet door, and you sit in the corner. And you sit there shaking in a cold sweat. Have I covered all my tracks? Did I make
I like that. I like that. That's a good one. I like that. I like.
and well, I mean, can anybody in the chat, live chat, argue with me on that statement? I don't think so. I don't think so. If you
Mm-hmm.
think I'm correct, press 1. If you think I'm wrong, press 2. You know?
Boxy says he presses 2 because he says that because Allah told me in Discord exactly what he has done, and that's right. I would like to ask you, WTF, any doubts? Is it me? Is it not me?
Fuck
What would
no,
you
it's not
say?
you. Fuck no, it's not you. I from all the years knowing you, I know how big of a fucking prankster you are. You like to skull fuck people with, this shit like, oh, you got me. There's just no fucking way it's you. The famous words from Frank, the voice doesn't fit the face, or the voice fits the face. I mean, goddamn, Frank is a fucking, uh, I don't know what you call that, brain dead right now, but I mean, there's no way it's you, Elo. There's just no fucking way. You just created the ultimate fucking mind fuck, you know?
I
Uh,
was actually planning
mm-hmm.
to take my cell phone and walk down a Manila street somewhere in Makati. And I would just walk up to random people and say, can you take a look at the screen here? And then I would show these other guys. And then I would ask them, how tall do you think are these people? And they would say, maybe 5'5", maybe 5'6", maybe 5'7". Then I would ask them 2 questions. Is any of these guys that you see here, is that me? People will say no. How tall do you think am I? And you will get answers. You're a 6 footer. You're probably 6'1", I would say. Are you 6'1"? Are you say? You will always hear that, and that would actually uh, explain it all, right? Problem
Hmm.
or the riddle is solved. The problem is this: when you are crazy and you're dealing with crazy people, what's going to happen is Aloe placed people on that street and made it look like as if it were random people, but he told them, probably paid them to say it's not him and to say on cam that he is 6 foot tall. That's how crazy it became. And I'm not even kidding. I bet they would. Yeah, I bet they would.
Yeah.
It's fucking off the charts crazy. But I somehow I really do, and I really do fucking enjoy this.
To be honest, I think you love the thrill of it. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
I I just think it's in the back of your mind. After knowing you so long and all the conversations we've had in the background, holy fuck. That's and there's just no way you're six. You're half Filipino. You got to be at least 5'4". So,
Yeah.
you know, you know, I, I'm being sarcastic, but I
Yeah, I
mean,
understand.
all the talking we've done in the background, that crazy shit we've talked about, you me message
Maybe
me, hey, yeah, go ahead.
WTF, maybe you should read out some of the emails that I usually send you.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's okay.
hold on a minute. I gotta ask Allo one more question here.
Go ahead.
Yes.
So while you're in that closet, breaking out into a cold sweat, talking to yourself, did I cover all my tracks? Did I cover all my tracks? I
That's a good
have,
question.
I
That's a
have,
very good question
I have
because
to know. Hold on, I have to know. Are you holding your knees and rocking back and forth too?
let me tell you this. Um, when you are so good at this, and I'm praising myself here now because I think I deserve a little bit praise because of that fucking masterpiece that I just pulled. But the thing is, when you are so good at it, you just know that even the best make mistakes. And at
Right.
some point, there is a chance that you will really slip up in one way or the other. And I ask myself, what would the other side be able to pull on you? And I know that they will not believe me, but it's actually nothing because I do not work for somebody. I made my money in my early 30s. I then invested it in all the things that I have mentioned on various live streams, and I basically live off the passive income of that. So
Uh-huh.
destroying my reputation or going live and say Alo said he's going to fuck a cow, for instance, since that's the topic of the day, won't do anything. And the people around me, the people who went to school with me, they would just fucking laugh because sometimes I pull pranks just like this in school as well.
Uh-huh.
And they would remember and say, "Yeah, we have very good memories of that guy." So what, And my friends back in Switzerland, for instance, they're all like that. I mean, I have a friend who fucking called the police and said he's the king of Spain, and then he said there's blood everywhere. I mean, 911 call, and then they got him and put him in the fucking nut house because he was running out of money, had no food at home, and said, "Okay, I'll just go and stay a few days in the nut house." And then he came fucking back. I mean, and we pulled shit. Or another guy, he missed the last train going home to his town, to his city. It's a small village outside of the city. And what he did is he took the train, and the train wouldn't stop at his station. He just pulled the emergency brake and ran out
Uh-huh.
of the fucking train, and the people just ran after him, tried to catch him, but they never catched him. And when we were younger, we would do all kinds of shit like that. So they wouldn't really care, and they would know, it's Aloe. He has a new career. He's on YouTube now. So what are you up to? They would enjoy that. So and as far as my family is concerned, there is nothing there that you could actually pressure me with. Or
Uh-huh.
neighbors. Neighbors actually, they don't really know me. That's the truth. I mean, I have threatened neighbors here where I'm at now. I told them, if you park your car again in front of my fucking fence, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to see you again. I'm going to fucking kill you. The guy took me to fucking barangay for that. So I actually have, let's just say, I have a little bit of a, I have there's a pattern here, you know. One time I was on a highway, driving in Manila, and then there was a dude who cut off my way. And then I got out of the fucking car and tried to, and then I was hitting the windshield of his car, and then he drove away. And then a police officer came, and then I got out of the car, not police officer, traffic enforcer, and I was yelling. I said, somebody is going to fucking die today because of this fucking traffic. Is it me who will die, or is it you who will die? And then the guy said, sir, please get it back in the car, walked away from it, want nothing to do with it. I was like fucking off the charts, fucking out of control. I mean, like red face, saliva all over the fucking face, yelling. And people would say, yeah, that's just Alo. It's tamed down. He got older. He has a show now under Alo the Winter. So no, I mean, there's really nothing out there that I would be that I would feel ashamed of. The thing is, if I would really be exposed, then there's no reason anymore not to get together with a few guys and then drive down or travel down to all these places and beat the shit out of every single one of these vloggers. I mean, we talked about that earlier. I don't want to get into detail, but that would be that would be actually a good thing. If people would really expose me and know who I am, then I could say, okay, my anonymous status, it's gone. Now let's go visit them and beat the shit out of them. I mean, we would get away with it. I mean, who cares? I mean, these guys have no money. They have no recourse. And most of them are just overstayers / tourists. So what the fuck? You have to have a lot of money, time and effort, and the backing of your family connected to this country here and in Switzerland. And when you have that, you naturally have an advantage. So it's never a fair competition and never a fair battle. I'm not saying I want to go there. I'm not saying I want to do this or stuff like that. But that's something that the other side always forgets. Once you lose that anonymous status, and once people know how you look like, then you can say, you know what? Let's go there. Let's beat the shit out of them.
Well,
and that would be fun as well.
But answer this. I mean, yeah, you could still keep your anonymity very easily. And how come you're not going down on Mabeni and, soliciting lady boys to show up at these guys' houses and ruin it?
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that, and I was talking about that, and I said,
we were that's funny. That we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that, and I said, they wouldn't be, like, for instance, the Australian drunk from Adelaide. If that guy would be really nearby and you walk into him, you could basically just take away his cell phone. And of course, he will try to fight back and say, hey, man, don't do this. And maybe he will get violent. Then you just smack him down and then kick him in the fucking mouth. And then you get back in your car and you drive away. What will he do? Of course, he will go to the police station. Of course, he will say, there was a dude, I think it's out of the winter, beat me up, took my cell phone. Of course, he could do that, but then what happens? You go prosecutor's office, you come in with the good lawyer, say that didn't happen. He kicked my ass first, and in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, there's a first hearing. Then your lawyer will try to throw it out, and then it goes to the courts, and then 4, 5, 6 years later, you get to the first hearing at the court level, and then maybe in 10, 12 years, you have a verdict. Who will follow through that process if you are not based in the Philippines? Who will do that? Who will line up in this air-conditioned small rooms of prosecutor's office all over the Philippines and pay a lawyer and line up and follow through just because something like that happened? No, people will move on. I believe that most people just say, fuck it. It's so dysfunctional, the justice system. I will never get fucking justice here. I got my ass kicked. Maybe I learn a lesson or two out of it, and then I move on and leave the county. That's the most likely outcome of all of this. That's what I believe.
Because so what do you think the outcome will be for Bama? You know what I mean? How long will it take for Bama's outcome?
Honestly, I know that our guys and the panel here included, and of course the guys who listen to us, they want Bama to get his ass kicked. They want him to go to jail, and I'm with them on that, and they want his ass to get blacklisted and deported. 100%. I would even go as far as to say that I wish that someone, maybe a brother, maybe a father of the people that he has been with, that they would, give him, give him a lesson, okay, or that he will learn his lesson in jail if he goes to jail. But honestly, the system that I just talked about is so dysfunctional that I do believe, if I had to take a bet, that all these legal cases, that nothing will come from it. And
Right.
that's just my, and maybe it's a maybe I'm frustrated about it,
Mhm.
maybe I'm just fucking disappointed about the system, but I'm still, there's still a small percentage in me that believes maybe these authorities will start to do their fucking job right
Mhm.
and put these people away, because the
Right.
people here, they do not deserve to be treated uh, like this. And it's really that some Western countries, um, they just fucking sent the lowest of the low of their society to these islands here. And I believe the people here do not deserve that. They do not deserve to be treated that way. And they really have a lot more, a lot better things to do. Many of them struggle with the rising living expenses here. They do not need a guy who misrepresents himself just because he wants to get laid. And it's just disgusting. And I know that you guys understand that. At least the decent guys out there who listen to this, they know that the people here deserve better, and that these people need to be put away once and for all. But will this happen? I doubt it. Unfortunately, I do doubt it, because I have seen how fucking dysfunctional this is. I mean, tell you this, I got people broke into my house a couple of years ago. I think I talked about that. I didn't even go to the cops anymore. Why would I go to the cops? I know that the cops will never find these people, and I know that nothing ever will happen. And why line up and pay lawyers and pay for the investigation and follow up and then call them, and then they will say, yes sir, we are on it. Unfortunately, we're not able to find somebody yet, but we are working on it. And then you will never hear back from them. And a year later you will ask again, you follow up, and you just get frustrated about it. So just fucking let it go. And that's the reality. And it's basically one of the reasons, if I may add, why Duterte got elected into office 6 years ago, because people just felt like, maybe we just need another form of justice. Maybe we just need people to go after these fucking drug pushers and just fucking shoot them. There's no need anymore for legal processes, because the rich guys always never end up in jail, and the poor guys, they just run to the fucking province, and nobody fucking cares. And often
But
it is.
you know, in the 80s, when I was in the Longapo in 90s, they used to they used to grab the drug pushers. They'd bring them over to the Santa Rita River Bridge, and they'd put two in the head, and over the bridge they go. That was the end of it. There was no court case. There was no
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah,
you know. And
yeah,
but I'm speaking of the 80s and 90s, and I'll probably get a lot of heat for that. Please forgive me. You know, I mean, but my point is, it, those who forget are doomed to repeat it again. Go ahead, forget history. You'll repeat it
yeah,
again and again and again. The
yeah,
perfect definition of insanity.
yeah.
Okay? Do the same thing over and over and over again. You know,
I just read a comment in the comment section here from a guy. It's who you know in a third world country, and I think that's at least partly right. I would absolutely agree with that, because I see the difference between how the justice system works in in Switzerland, and I see how the justice system works in the Philippines. And there are very prominent cases that are now in the discussed in the media. For instance, the Ongpin case. Uh, Philippine government, of course, as you know, the drug war, that was one of their top priorities. And Ongpin, I have to be very careful what I say here, by the way. Ongpin is a very uh, powerful person, and his son, He is probably 30 years old. He was dating a young lady, and they were in a resort in La Union, San Fernando, La Union, and the girl that night they were partying, and that girl died, and they found cocaine in the hotel room. And if it were any other guy, you would just go away for life. But not in this case. A few weeks later, the guy came with top lawyers, and of course, being the son of an ongpin, uh, he got off the hook. And I'm not saying he's guilty or he's not guilty. It's just like it was all over the news, and people thought, there's probably two sets of justice
Sounds like
systems
Hunter
here.
Biden to me.
Sorry,
Sounds
I
like Hunter Biden to me.
I see what you're trying to point out. Yeah, there are other cases. There are other cases like libel cases of certain people. There was a
Mm-hmm.
congresswoman in the South, and I googled that, and an actor said, because she had a very lavish wedding, and then the actor En Chong Di is his name, very famous in the Philippines. He said she used all that money for her wedding, basically implying and insinuating that the politician was somehow related to some shady business, and then that the woman didn't accept that, and then filed a fucking case against him, and now we are looking at the fucking multi-billion peso lawsuit here, and she is not a nobody because she is a daughter of a governor, and I found out that she studied in Switzerland at some sort of a hotel restaurant management school. So these are cases that are well known in the Philippines. And let me tell you this: um, the the average common YouTuber here really has nothing to fear, because the cops, they really do not care much about that. To be honest, unless you are really fucking high profile, then they know they might lose their job over something. It's a different
Right.
thing when a senator
Right.
fucking files a libel case against somebody, because that's what they actually really do about all kinds of shit. There are senators here who want to go after vloggers. I mean, there was a Senate hearing about vloggers spreading what they call fake news, and it went really crazy over here during the Marcos election. I mean, the fucking
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
they threw at the Marcos family, tried to fucking discredit them, tried to fucking put them down, because the establishment here was fucking losing their fucking mind over a second Marcos presidency. And then
Mm-hmm.
on May 9, the fucking electorate gave them a lesson and spoke with a very clear message. 58% voted for Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the biggest, best result after his father was removed from the presidency. I mean, it was fucking mind blowing. Majority presidency, because here in the Philippines, it's winner takes all. If he would have won like 30%, because the other candidate, Lenny Robredo, just had like I believe 28%. Uh, if you would get 29% of the vote, then you win. Okay, then you win the presidency. So majority presidency refers to winning more than 50% of the electorate, and the guy won from north to south, east to west, and especially up north, where I am from. Uh, Semi got fucking statues for the Marcos family, and I went actually to a lot of these proclamation rallies, and fantastic atmosphere there, and people are looking forward to a new Marcos era. But enough about politics. Just wanted to give you a little bit context here.
All right, guys, I wanted to let you know it's getting late.
Yep.
I got to sign off here, and I appreciate you letting me come on.
You're more than welcome.
All right, and my good man Nico, you have a good night, brother.
Good night.
And you two gentlemen have a good evening. And
Have a happy Memorial weekend,
mhm.
and thanks to all the vets that have given the ultimate sacrifice. That's what this weekend is ultimately about.
Mhm.
So,
So For all you fucking military hating motherfuckers like that towel head in Valencia,
Yep.
you can pick the corn out of my shit and eat it.
Yep.
All
I
right,
agree.
Popeye
Yep.
one out.
Take care, Pop.
I was gonna.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right, now I'm not as
What's
nice
up,
as fucking
Nico?
Popeye, so
Hey, let
I'm
it
gonna.
loose, brother.
If by any chance I cut off, I apologize. I'm not sure
No, it's
why.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
okay.
sure what's happening, but I'm gonna fix that problem soon. Uh, One of the biggest things that I'm gonna jump off for not jump off the show, jump off of what Aloe said was many of us. This is how do I say this? Let me give you like 2 seconds. All right, what's happening is that we're not fucking consistent. We're never fucking consistent. So, Aloe said it right. If you want to make a I'll give you an example. I don't like Bama. I love to use Bama because he or let me. You know what? I'm not gonna use Bama. I'm gonna use fucking Hold on. What the fuck his name? Boss man. Sibu Boss man. I don't like Sibu Boss man. I want to expose him for all the bad things he may have done. And again, it's an example. I will not stop until every fucking ounce of me fucking exposes him. I will go out. I will do everything that I can, but many people like to fucking slack off and they like to say, "Well, I tried." No, there's no trying. You fucking make an example. I will go out with a fucking sign. I will find out where the fuck everything is to expose somebody, but many people don't want to put the fucking work into it. So many people, like Bama, like everybody, will fall through the cracks and they will get away with half the shit that they do. And if we don't do something, not just because of him, for anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but we give up too easily. You know why? Because it's
Yeah.
so easy to come on YouTube, on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, on TikTok and say 30 seconds of your shit and say, yeah, guys, and that's it. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. It's not. That's it. If you started, fucking finish it. They don't do that. They don't. They don't do that at all. At all. At all. So a lot of these guys, something that Aloe said, they call Aloe out from here to left to right, and that's what happens. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that you say something and Aloe says, "Well, you fucking cow fucker, dog fucker. Why are you so offended?" If Aloe were to say anything, I swear to God, about me, I would say, all right, I would not even be slightly offended. Why? Because it's not true. Do I feel a need to fucking defend myself? No, because I know it's not true. So I'm not gonna go into it. But most of these guys, they're like, I'm offended by what WTF and Popeye and fucking Aloe says. No, you're offended because half of it's probably true. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be fucking contradicting it because it's not true. Leave it alone. But some of these guys, they feel the need. Narcissist people, they are on point. They're like, no, I can't let Aloe say that because Aloe's getting too much attention, and I don't like that. And it don't matter what the fuck anybody gets her attention. If it's true, I'm not gonna say a fucking thing. And if it's really true, I'm gonna defend myself to the fucking end. You see, so that's the thing. Most of the guys, they wait till Aloe's done, you're done, everybody's done on the show, and then they'll go make another show. And when they try to say something, what do? Boom, Aloe can go on the show and be like, I'm blocking that motherfucker, fuck that. Why? Because he's saying the truth, and nobody likes it. If it's
Yeah.
true, if it's not true, then why are you stressing it? I don't stress. I honestly don't stress it at all.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, Nico,
Yes, sir.
uh, following question. When you look at the community, can you
Yeah.
name, let's say, 3 to 5 guys with a channel that you like? And it doesn't need to be somebody who is a vlogger, like people that pop up in your mind, like 5 dudes that you say these are genuinely good guys in this community, and of course 5 guys that you say that you really despise with passion? People that you say that this guy or that guy, that vlogger or that troll or that commenter in this Philippines genre is a fucking piece of shit low life. 5 good guys, 5 bad guys. Could you come up with something like that? It doesn't really necessarily to be 5, just a few names in each category. That would be something that I would like to ask you.
Pretty really. Damn, you're pretty fucking good. Uh I don't despise. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. I don't despise anyone. 5 guys that I can name right now, right now, I would say none that I like. None. No,
Yeah.
so sorry, that I like. Hold on. Let me quick. Give me like 2 seconds. Hold on.
Sure, take your time. What do you think about that, WTF? In the meantime, do you have like names? And I know that I think that the fuck you list is probably longer than the good guy
Oh
list
yeah.
when it
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yeah.
your list there.
To be honest, since I've got back into the genre here, I'll be honest. Alu, I love his shit. A very coordinated attack type guy. You can tell he's got a military background. I love his style. I like Popeye's shit. I think he makes my ass fucking roll out of the chair. And it's all about having fun. Some of these motherfuckers out here just don't know what that word means. I mean, Frank eats and sleeps this shit. I mean, I just don't get some of the shit he'll post. He makes it look like it's breaking news and he's a CNN guy. You can obviously tell that. That motherfucker is definitely CNN. That motherfucker is CNN. Okay, it says it all right there. And I hate motherfuckers on that side. I mean, that's what's fucking killing America. That's what's killing us. These fucking bastards taking in, and it's people like Frank. It's people like Gerry the Fairy, the fucking Valencia hobo. It's people like them. And speaking of the Valencia, I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place, but it's just hitting me good. Valencia, the fucking hobo over there, talking shit about military people that have fought for the United States of America, that gave that disrespectful motherfucker a chance to come to America and get an education. He's just a fucking ignorant immigrant. That's all he is. He doesn't have any respect. And it's just like the ones, and I don't have a problem with it if they come in and do it right and become a U.S. citizen. But it's the people that come over here and disrespect the United States, and they expect things. Bam. Oh, I get to vote right away. I get to do this. It's all bullshit. It's bullshit. It's
Yeah.
like it's like we're spit. All these people are spitting on everybody that have fought for what our Constitution stands for. And people like Jerry Cardini, he's a fucking low-life piece of scum that thinks his portfolio is 20 miles long. I mean, little man syndrome is definitely in the dictionary. It shows his name. I mean, if you think you're living a 5-star lifestyle with a fucking rented home up in Valencia and a fucking truck, I mean, I don't know about you, but that's 5-star lifestyle. Or you got fucking Woop Woop. We haven't spoke about him, but Woop Woop, over
That's
there
the
living
budget version. That's the fucking budget version of a 5-star
yeah,
lifestyle.
I mean, he's living above a fucking bar, okay, and he thinks that shithole is fucking 5-star. Okay, here's the truth, and Alu pointed this out on one of our streams in the message. He goes, you guys all see that receipt, and I'm glad this came up. You see that receipt that he showed, making everybody thinks he's a multi-gayanaire, okay? He thinks he's fucking some pimp in the Philippines. The motherfucker just got his fucking back pay from his VA. He's showing it in the receipt. Everybody knows this. When you get back pay, okay, you'll get a lump sum that goes back. Okay, he shows his paperwork from the VA saying, "Oh, I've got this." It says in the corner, if you pay attention, one of seven. So he has other paperwork. It doesn't show his rating. It doesn't show anything. Okay, judging from the amount he got, I mean, you're talking about a motherfucker that came from Las Vegas walking miles to get tickets to cash them in that were sometimes worth 32 cents. I mean, you're living in a roach infested place with fucking shit, and he thinks that's the mentality. He thinks he's in a five-star rest. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
five-star accommodations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get people like that. I mean, he is the master fucking baiter of deception. I mean, that motherfucker is the new. And then he comes on there. I just love it when he lifts his head and his eyes bulge out and his nose flex. He looks like fucking lechon. I mean, the guy, I don't know, is ultimately stupid. If fucking Alu can point it out, you guys can obviously see what the fuck is going on. I don't know about you, Aloe, but am I right? I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. And I believe that people should still go over to Ala Manotti's channel and check out the
Yeah,
fantastic vlogs that he has put out there. And, the statement that you just gave about his bank
yeah,
statement there, the total, I mean, that doesn't look like a five-star lifestyle at all. Actually,
no,
there were people in the community said the guy you know, might be broke, might be broke. I
Well,
mean, look
I
at the
would tell.
places that he stays at, and it's actually at the end of the month again, and he's nowhere to be found. We do know that where he was yesterday afternoon, Friday afternoon, though, it doesn't really look that good for him. But we are still waiting to announce and see what happens next. So come back here to the WTF live stream. I just wanted to pick up on that other issue that you just mentioned about the immigrant issue
yeah,
with the disrespectful
It,
comments about the military. Um,
right.
even even people who have not served in the military, and
Uh-huh.
even people who are non-American, see that he is using that against people like you and others
Hmm.
because, of course, he states a fact, and he said it again. He said, "We all are paying their salary." And factually, that's absolutely right. But you have to read between the lines here. And this is so typical of his personality. Going to explain you why. What he really means is, I am higher than you. I am better than you. I pay your salary. It's the same arrogance that you can see with people who have, say, a housemaid and disrespect them, or the waiter in a restaurant, or some person who has more money than you. It's that arrogance that you are better, you are more. And it's often seen in people who actually have some sort of a complex. We'll always try to find fault with others, but let me get to that in a second. The comment about the military was kind of like, we pay their salary. Well, first of all, I think that's required by the law because you have to pay taxes for all kinds of things. Maybe the school that you went to, the roads that you use, the infrastructure that you use. And sometimes you forget that because you cannot expect that you wouldn't be coming to a new country and that country gives you all the opportunity that you had in life, the education, the jobs. And I think you have to look at it from another angle here. He only looks at this angle.
Mm-hmm.
I pay taxes. A couple of years ago, he told me, or actually didn't tell it to me, but it was on a live stream. And he said
Mm-hmm.
that the Philippines has to be very thankful to people like him because people like him bring in the money. They eat at restaurants and they buy houses or rent houses. So it's basically like people have to be grateful. And it's the same way he thinks about people like you. The money angle is always there. It's always something that plays a factor. Another
Right.
example
That's
was
right.
he pressured us to get rid of John Doe over on the original Discord. And I know I mentioned this a lot of times. And the reason for it was, and he was very upset, he was yelling at me and said, Alo, I didn't work all my life to get to this point in my life to be harassed by somebody like John Doe. He's very thin skinned. Another example. So you see the pattern. He once said, if he dies, his wife is going to be a rich woman, meaning that he thinks that A, he has a lot of money, and B, it's the foundation of his arrogance, I would say, of him thinking that he has it all figured out. And you always see it, you always hear from it, and it's hidden and disguised behind comments like, the most people who come to the Philippines, they are not prepared. They after 3 to 5 years, that's the expiration date. Most of them will go back because they are losers. They don't have any options. They just don't know, and they just call them out. And
Ooh.
that's why people don't know it. It goes hand in hand. The know-it-all attitude plus the I got money. Give you another
Right.
example. Give you
Right.
another example. Couple of weeks ago, we were on that show with that clown Gino.
Right. Right.
And Gino said something, and Gino is an absolute fucking loser. But this is
Yeah.
interesting because he said, "I have money. I have a lot of money, man. I have a lot." That's just how these people talk. And then he dropped an amount of 200,000 US. And then the Valencia hobo was on there and said, "Wait a second. So 200,000, is that a lot of money?" And then the other dude would reply, 200,000 is a lot of money for everyone. And then the Valencia hobo goes silent. He is trying to
Right.
send a message.
Right.
He enjoys stuff like that. 200,000 for me, referring to himself, is not a lot of money. That's the message you get. And he always puts that inside comments. Another example, and there are a lot, and it's just on top of my head, there must be 100,000 more. He said on a vlog where, was live streaming, I believe, he said something along the lines like it was about renting versus buying. He was talking about the Valencia property, the Magueta property, and he talked about the property being like 3 million pesos, and that's like around 60,000 US. And then he said, I could buy it. Okay, he really made sure that everybody knew I could buy it, but I won't. But even if it would be a total failure and I would lose that money, it's not going to affect me. Message again, 60,000
Mm-hmm.
US, not a big deal. And when you talk about that, he of course will mock it and say, they're just jealous. The thing is, he does that all the fucking time. I'm successful. I switched careers over the last 30 plus years, and so on and so forth. That's the foundation of his arrogance. And when people see that, after a while they fucking figure it out because the guy has no money. The guy has no money. We are
No.
talking about the guy who has been working. And when I say no money, I'm not talking about no money like the Bantayan guy or Bama. The Bantayan guy has more money than Bama, but there are different levels of having no money. And in this case, it's really true. I don't think that Codanian has more than, I'd say, he gets the social security, of course, he gets pension, stuff like that, but he has like a nest egg of I would say around 600 to 800,000 US maximum. And this is a guy, and of course, that might sound a lot for many of you guys, and it's a respectable amount. But keep in mind, this is a guy who doesn't have any kids, who doesn't have never had any responsibilities other than looking after himself. Worked his ass off a very long time, I believe, based on of course, this is pure speculation, and I believe he made around. It's a wild guess. He didn't make more than 5 to 7 thousand US with his job back in Chicago. So of course, pure speculation. Don't mock
I
me
think
for
you're
it.
giving him
But
too
it,
much
but it, but it's
credit.
but it, but it's not more than that. And if I and if that's the case, then there's really nothing to be proud of and come off here on fucking YouTube and brag and hey, I got it all figured out. 200 this, 200 that, not a big deal. It's just really not there. And last but not least, the disrespect towards military people who actually are patriots, because that's one of the factors why they go into the military service is, and that's not just true for the US, but for all military personnel in many
That's
different
correct.
countries. It's a very noble career. It's something that you do not only do for money. And I always believe that because I also have people in my family who were veterans on the other side. Of the world, of course, and people who have also fought in grandfather, for instance, was one. Even my wife's grandfather, he actually went to the U.S. Under that special law. When Filipino World War II guerrilla fighters, they were able to
Mhm.
obtain American citizenship and veteran benefits, and based on that, the part of the family actually migrated to the U.S.
Mhm.
Years ago. So the military career is a noble, rewarding career, and it is something that shouldn't be mocked, and it's something that shouldn't be put down. And I know you cannot literally pinpoint and say Gerry disrespected the military, but it is the insinuation that you have to bow down to him and respect him because he pays your salary. Factually, that is right. But on the other hand, a military guy could say, "Yeah, Gerry, you need to bow down to us because we are the guys who defended this country, and the freedom for people like you coming here is something you should value, especially knowing that you come from a people who basically have no home. You belong to a people, to the Armenian people, who are basically like gypsies. You have
That's
been
right.
murdered 100 years ago during the Armenian genocide by the Turks. They slaughtered up to 1.5 million people. It's basically like the fucking Holocaust, and you guys still face a lot of fucking violence in places like Turkey. I have Turkish friends. They fucking despise the Armenian people like as if they see a fucking beast or something. They just want to fucking kill them. And if you don't know what I am talking about, just Google it. Armenian genocide. These people are dispersed all over the globe. And when a guy like that, who comes from a people who have been, and probably the only people who have been persecuted more are probably the Jews. When you come from a people
Mhm.
like that, you should be a little bit more thankful. And when he speaks about he came from France, and says he
Mhm.
would have had it good in France or even better. He said that a lot of thing. You are not from France, Gerry. You are just a fucking gypsy from Armenia, and I'm sorry to tell you. You do not belong to the countries whose citizenship you hold, not by blood and not by the parents and the lineage.
Mhm.
And that's just the truth. So when you come on a live stream and you talk about these guys here and talk down to them, you are basically what they call there's a German term for that, a Nestbeschmutzer. A Nestbeschmutzer is a person who actually goes to a country and then bites into the hand that feeds him,
Yeah.
talking down to the very people who actually fought for their country and maybe or maybe not suffered and incurred injuries and became disabled because they made the sacrifice for the country is absolutely noble. Him going on all these live streams mocking people and calling them disabled and disability queen and stuff like that, And I'm not referring to you, WTF, or anything like that, but in
No.
general. And this is something that has to be said, is absolutely disrespectful, especially for a guy who has enjoyed the freedom, the opportunities of any country. And that includes France, especially when you come from a country you have never been to. Because that dude has never been to his fucking native country, because it has been a fucking war zone. It has been a country that has been in a war with Azerbaijan about that was always in the news in the 80s, and Nagorno Karabakh. And these people, they should be fucking thankful, because if you do not have a country on your own where you can live in freedom and that gives you opportunity, then you should really not shit on these people. It's just disrespectful. And that's just my opinion about this. Because he is, how should I say, he's an unthankful guy. He's a
Yeah,
really
oh,
unthankful
big time.
guy. There's nothing to do with racism. There's nothing to do with any of that. It's just a fact. People who are refugees going to France, given an opportunity to live a life in freedom and in peace, and then moving to the US just because his fucking parents didn't get along with each other and fucking despised each other. I mean, it's a catastrophic fucking family background that he has. And I
Right.
always, maybe I don't want to hold that against him. He made something out of himself, and I really do not want to hold that against him. Okay. And this is his maybe there are good things about this guy. But doing
Yeah.
something like this, I don't know. I think it's totally uncalled for, and it's indeed disrespectful. And of course, he's going to mock me for this statement. Maybe he's going to mock you too for this statement. He's going to turn it around, but it is a fact. You're an immigrant. You do not, how should I say? You do not have a blood lineage to the countries that you are a citizen of, and therefore, I believe I don't say you need to go around and say thank you, thank you, thank you, but at least do not disrespect the people and mock them who actually did something for their home countries, defended it, paid the ultimate price, an organization that is actually driven by sacrifice and patriotism. I think you should be ashamed of that statement. But that's just my opinion. I think he's not man enough to say, okay, that was probably uncalled for. And it doesn't make it better when he says, I have military friends. I have friends that put in 20 years. I am not against the military. The fact is, he made comments that are disrespectful. It's the same shit when people say racist shit, and then they say, I am not racist because my wife is Filipina. I am not a racist because my woman is brown. Well, the thing is, some of them are even racist because of that. And that's the contradiction in itself. And they fail to see that. But enough. That was my statement about this topic here.
Okay, now I have heard everything you said, and if I cut off, let me know. Please feel free. Come in, but like, hey, Nico, come back on, and I'll come back right back on. That's why I was on and off to make sure that I go like totally what Aloe was like saying. Okay, Aloe, I want to make sure because you know how I am. I don't like beat around the bush, and I don't know a lot of these people and their certain names. You are talking about what Popeye would say, the used car salesman, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I don't mean to
Yeah. No,
really
go ahead.
quick chat. There's something. Hey, Allo, do you know a guy? Sorry about that,
No, go ahead, bro.
Nico. Do you know? Sorry about that, man. We just had a guy in the background. His name is Terry. He said he has something for me and you, Allo. Do you know him, Terry?
There is, I believe, what pops up in my mind is a Terry from Ohio who was quite known in the community as a guy who has been doing MGTOW vlogs, and he also had a major falling out with the fairy. The guy himself is
Yeah.
not really very popular in the community, but if it's that guy, then I would say let him on, because if he says he got something on the fairy, he probably has, because they have met and then they had a major falling out. He might have good info. Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
Nico,
Give him
I'm
a chance
sorry. I'm
if
not
he's
trying
around
to
here.
dis.
No, bro.
I'm not
I
sorry.
appreciate. Do your thing, bro. Do your
disrespect
thing.
your conversation,
No,
bro.
no, I can hold. Go for it.
Let's try this guy out. I'm gonna hover over him and get ready to kick him off if he's some troll. Yeah,
Sure.
because I'm game for anybody to come up here. I've told that before,
Hey,
but okay.
go ahead. I'll mute it. Go for it, bro. It's all Alo's fault.
No, hey, this guy Terry. I would prefer Terry just come live, dude, and just say it for a couple minutes. It's all cool. I would prefer you do that. Hey Terry, how you doing? Hey Terry, you there?
He's probably trying to set up his microphone. Yeah, here we go. And now I see him. It takes a while until it, connects to the
Yeah,
system, and
yeah.
sometimes you have to unmute, mute, stuff like that. Let's see if he will react.
Hey Terry, if you can hear me, I know you said you want to. It's sensitive, whether it's behind the scenes here or it's public. Your face is not shown, so might as well just go ahead and speak, man. You say it the way it is, brother.
And we'd like to know how you know who you're talking about and everything else. And make sure you're unmuted. When you come in, make sure you unmute yourself.
It says I will wait till after your show.
That makes no sense.
Cool, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could be legit. Could be legit. Because now that this guy is on, at least we don't know yet if it's the real guy or not. But I do believe that he was one of the guys that had the fucking major fallout with Gerry. And Gerry called him on a live stream, was yelling. He was saying, that fucking fat Ohio guy or something like, that Ohio fat fuck, something like that. And he was very riled up about something. So we might be onto something here. I would love to put that out there and talk a little bit about the hobos past in Chicago. There's one thing that also somehow is quite interesting, and it's the fact that we never knew or never found any information, not that we were looking, but about his ex-wife.
Hey, not to interrupt you. Hey, to my wrenches out there, you guys keep a close eye on Heido, stress cock. Get rid of that bitch. Just delete her. Block that bitch. I know she's got a lot of channels, but get rid of her. Keep an eye while I'm concentrating on if I got some wrenches. If not, I'll take care of it. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, the ex-wife of the Valencia hobo. That would be interesting if somebody could tell us a little bit something about her, because I think she must have been a really strange woman. I mean, who would end up with a guy like him? I mean, you have seen the pictures of him, like, the one that he was on with Big Kev. He's like sitting on the couch with that fucking mustache. And when he like really grows out his hair a little bit, then he really comes off like a Middle Eastern carpet seller or something like that. By the way, carpets in Armenian history, by the way, is a major fucking deal. We touched on the fucking Armenian subject a couple, when I was at the boarding school, like the history. We had like the Ottoman, I think it was called the Ottoman Empire. And during the Ottoman Empire, which is today's Turkey, they really fucking went after them. They really went fucking after them. That's the reason why they are dispersed all over the fucking globe. And most of them are actually in Russia. Outside of Armenia, of course, are in Russia, and the rest of them are dispersed all over the world. France has a lot of them, and the US has like almost a million or a million plus. So they must be everywhere. It's like the Jews, like US has a lot of Jews. I believe like 2% of the whole US population is Jewish. Guys like Seth Style, Yeah, Yeah, but enough about these fucking statistics here. Let's see if the other guy will come back and then talk to us, and let's see what he got. I believe it might be him because if
Yeah.
I hear his voice, if I'm going to hear his voice, I know for a fact because I remember that. I remember that guy. Nico was about to talk about
Well, he
the
said.
earlier statement here.
Go ahead, WTF. I'll talk to Aloe in a second.
Sure.
No, it's okay, brother. Go ahead, say it.
All right.
This guy's in the
So,
background. I've tried to get him on, but he said he wants to talk to us in the back when the show's over.
all right, Aloe. So I'm gonna keep you busy for a while. What was it that he said that was not only offensive, that you feel offensive of? Because I really don't know. In regards to veterans, in regards to uh, what you feel he said was offensive.
I will tell you. There's
Okay.
nothing. Short answer. Nothing. He will
Okay.
be able to. There's no statement in itself where you say he said veterans are all gays, or veterans are all cocksuckers, or veterans are shit, or the U.S. military sucks. You will not be able to pin him
Okay.
down on
Okay.
something like that. And he will always say, "I have a lot of friends who are also in the military," but he
Yeah.
does it
Yeah.
in a more subtle way, in a very I would call pseudo intellectual way, maybe,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
in a know-it-all. He says,
Yeah.
"Private Foxtrot, we are
Mhm,
paying his salary. We
mhm.
all do pay these military guys. We pay their salary." And I know for a fact that because I know this because we have been talking in the background when RRR was on, or prior to that during the old Quentin Baloo days, and when I was doing my All of the Winter live streams, Jerry would call me after every fucking live stream. He would call me on Facebook,
Mhm.
and he would talk to me and say what he really thinks. And he would often refer to these military guys, and he really does not like them. It's just a fact. Of
Okay.
course, he's going to say that's not true and stuff like that. But when somebody says, "Nico, just shut up, because I'm paying your I'm paying your salary because
Mhm.
I pay taxes," what do you think does that mean? It means I'm trying to say that you are beneath me, that what your choice of career is not a real option. I had options. I'm in the private economy. I'm a big shot. I know things. I do things. I have more money than you. So you have to uh, respect my socioeconomic status. That's what this is all
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and there I see, based on the long line of these statements, there I see an arrogance behind it where he says, "I have more money, I'm more prepared, I know more than you." Because look, he is the type of guy, when he talks to you, he would often try to cut you off because he thinks that he found some fault in your statements. And that's his mindset. And he does it all the time. And you're not even fucking finished yet with your fucking statement.
And he
When you
cut
would
you off.
say, in the middle, hundreds of years ago, they said the world was flat, but now it's
Mhm.
known it's not flat. And he would cut you off and say, Nico just said the earth is flat. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I'm going to explain to you why. And that's the fucking attitude, like a fucking dog, like a small dog that barks at you and tries to jump on you and bite you because he thinks that he finds some fucking fault in your fucking statement.
In the
Another
statement. Yeah.
example, when that other guy was on, that drunkard with that bee on, I think it was on Big Kev or on any other show, the drunkard with that bee avatar, he
Mhm.
said something like, "Yeah, I grew up in Florida, but now I moved to Chicago. But I know Chicago, but I moved from Florida, but right now I live outside of Chicago." And then Jerry would like, where is that? Is that in the east, in the west? No, you, bro, you just said you are from Chicago, and then you moved to Florida, or is it from Florida to Chicago? Yeah, whatever. It's like always this fucking on fucking alert modus
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
bring somebody down, especially when there is a public that listens to it. He just really wants to make it a point. I'm smarter than you. I know it better. I know more than you, and I have a fucking Honda Click scooter. So I must be a winner, and you are not.
Did you say what kind of Honda?
Fuck
What
you,
kind of Honda?
The
a
fucking click.
Honda Click.
A
It's a
fucking-
piece of shit. Yeah.
Well, how about this?
I have
There
a
are
500cc, and it's still a scooter, but it's top of the line. It's one of the ones that go the highest ones you can go, And I tell you what, it's a heavy bitch, but it's fun.
Well, let me
It's
say
fun.
this: there's 40 people watching, and
Hmm.
I would love at any given time. Of course, it won't happen, but I would love for him to come on, and
Hmm.
I would love for him to express himself, get the chance to say what he needs to say. Now,
Hmm.
let me ask you, Allo, because I have a lot of questions, because I like to educate myself as I go. So, he is an American citizen, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And his parents came over that made him an American citizen, right?
It's not. It's. I don't. It's not both parents. I
No,
think because the
no.
both the parents. I do not know if it's the father's family despising the mother's family or vice versa. But they had like a major falling out, and one of the things of in Jerry's life was that fucking lifelong trauma that
Uh-huh.
that he at some point figured out that his the people who he refers to as family, that his family didn't really cared much about him. He figured out that they probably didn't even want him to go to college and come up for the college education. And he spoke about that at length and in detail in his My Life, Jerry Codanian My Life. And it was like an
Hmm.
fucking uh 30 fucking episode thing. You know, he would like driving around in Chicago in his car.
Yeah.
That's when he came on
Hmm.
the scene. And then it would be like 30, 40 minutes of hello, I'm Jerry Codanian. Welcome to my channel. You know that kind of thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed those those live streams. I mean, not live streams, but vlogs. And then at the
Hmm.
beginning, I sometimes would listen to parts of it because I like, you know, Jerry is actually a guy who is a good narrator, has a good voice for that.
Hmm.
And then I discussed it with him, and they said, Jerry, why do you upload this stuff about your life? Don't you think that's kind of personal, and is this some sort of a self therapy thing, or what is this? And he told me then, and I know he remembers that because I'm not making this up, by the way.
Yeah.
No way. He told me then it's because of his family. He wants that to be put on record that his family, I don't know if it was in France or he has some other relative somewhere else. I know he has a brother somewhere in the southern central or southern part of France still. um, he wanted his family to see that he made something out of his life, that he is somehow, look, here I am, I'm in the US, I'm about to move, I'm going to make a big move, I have a new woman in my life, now I'm going to retire in the sunny Philippines, and I want to share that with you guys. Somehow like that. He didn't go into detail like that, but it main purpose was actually that his family sees it. And he didn't go into detail who it was, or like cousins or whatever. So there is always an angle there that he tries to prove himself to somebody, and you can see that in his behavior, in his vlogs. And that's the reason why I do watch some of his vlogs. I'm not interested about if he got a Honda Click or not. I'm not interested about Valencia in itself. I am trying to look at this more like, where is Gerry going to talk about something that says something about his character again? I'll give you another example. For instance, there was a he's now into diving, right? And he's very proud of that. Sometimes he would, when I chatted with him, say, oh, I have no time right now, Alo, because I'm going to do my paddy night dive master, whatever. It's like, oh, I'm the message here is, I'm busy, I'm super busy, I'm somehow like a little bit like James Bond, and I'm doing things. And he was very proud to
Yeah,
so
yeah.
emphasize, did you notice, they asked me, that I am not uploading so many videos anymore? In Jerry speech, that means I have a life outside of YouTube. I'm doing awesome things. With any of your buddies, when he says, "Hey, I'm going diving," you would say, "Okay, he's going diving," and right now he's not doing much on YouTube, right? There's no, you don't interpret anything into it. But in Jerry's case, like, I and then he asked me, I did you notice, Al, that I'm not uploading much videos anymore? when I translate that to you, it means I have an awesome life. I'm doing shit. I'm not on YouTube. Well, the guy is always on YouTube, just the same time we are. He's on YouTube. He's in on these fucking live streams. He even made himself a private foxtrot avatar. I mean, talk about doing important, awesome things. That's what he did last evening and hopped on the Havoc Master live stream. So is he
Yeah.
really that
Yeah.
kind of a winner, or are we just all the same? You know, he has to get away from this mentality of being better than anyone else. I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Once again, right? So
All right.
that's what you need to know about this guy. And then last but not least, he was
Yeah.
doing a dive vlog and he was in a hotel. There was absolutely no new stuff on that blog
Yeah.
because he talked about all this dive shit in detail for many times already. The only reason why, and of course, I pure speculation here again, the only reason why he does that is it's kind of like sending the message: "Look at me. I'm in this room. I'm doing things. This is a nice hotel room, and I'm going to talk
Right.
a little bit about the ins and outs of diving in the Philippines, man." And the message
Uh,
again is: look at me, I'm successful, and admire me, I'm so good, you know. And the funny thing is that yesterday he also said something like, if I would look like that guy that they think is you, WTF, I would also hide my face.
uh-huh.
In all honesty, that guy on that video, and I
Uh-huh.
know it's not WTF, but you won't believe me anyway. But that guy on that video looks absolutely okay to me. Not, you know, absolutely okay. I wouldn't make fun of that. Absolutely no problem. But the guy that I would make fun of is rather the guy who looks like a carpet salesman from fucking Armenia, who actually looks like, oh, from that Simpson Tavern. There's really nothing to be fucking proud of when it comes to the looks department, Jerry. Honestly, there is nothing to be proud of when it comes to the looks apartment. And that's why you find it so fucking awesome that you're actually really married. Because for him, that was a fucking big deal. A guy told me that Jerry believed that I am not even married. And then I realized for him, being married is kind of like being chosen, being in a small circle of wanted men. It's fucking absurd. And the reason, then I asked that guy, is a guy who was based in New York, and asked him, why does he think so? And then he said that Jerry always calls you, right? And they said, yeah, after the shows, right? Yeah. Jerry told me that he never heard anybody talk in the background. He never heard any voices. What did Jerry fucking expect? That I'm going to pick calls? I mean, talk to him and then my family would be like doing shit in the background? I know what he was all about from the get go, and I never fucking trusted him. So why would I just fucking open the fucking phone and then my family would be like talking in the background? Because I know he probably would have used that in any form and then given it to some other guys. That kind of a fucking weasel he is. So Aloe is not married because I never heard a female voice in the background. That kind of a fucking idiot it is. And the fact that he thinks that other guy that Frank says is me, he also tends to believe it is me. Why? Because it's because of that URL video that Frank has put out. So careful, careful, careful. As time goes by, you will know and realize that all these people that you know from these channels, how they really are. Because if you want to get insider information, come here to WTF. That's where you find insider information, ladies and gentlemen. I had to put that in
Yes.
there. WTF. That's the usual advertisement.
Yeah. Hey, we got this guy in the background. I know we've been yakking for over 2 hours, and I know it's a holiday weekend. Um, I want to, let's see, we got another response. I don't know if that's next show. I will answer all of, yeah, that's cool. Sorry, Nico. Hey, I want to thank all the audience that has showed up. I want to thank all the subscribers. Um, I would put up a thing, buy me a coffee, but I would, if I could, I would say buy me a dildo. But,
He said, WTF said dildo, it must be him. Alo must be that guy, that.
with it, they can do whatever. I don't give a shit. You can't let that. You got to let that shit roll off like a. I've learned that now, being in this community for a while. Just they can say whatever they want. You know what, Aloe? They can say what they want. All right,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
bother me. And seeing, it's actually a badge of honor for me to see him on Havoc Masters channel. To see him on Havoc Masters channel with my avatar. That means to me, in America, he has a lot of envy for me. I'm his idol. He wants to be like me. He has no life, so he wants to be part of the American blood, the guys who fought and bled on American soil. He wants to, and it's okay. He's just a fucking idiot. But anyways, we look forward. I don't know. Me and Ella are going to set up a surprise thing on this long weekend. We're going to talk about it if we find out any more info. Nico, I would absolutely love for you to show up. I'll always send you a link. You're absolutely welcome anytime. You're a great asset to this channel. And if you want to stay, don't get off. We'll close the show. This guy in the background has some stuff he wants to talk to us about. Okay. Hey, we're going to end this. Thank you guys for showing up. Hello, if you want to close with anything, it's up to you. If you want to say it, if not, we'll end the show.
Well, I just want to say thank you, and to all the guys who came on the panel. Always great to have some input from you guys, and of course everyone who showed up in the chat and commented, and of course all the guys who catch this later on the podcast. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yes. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later.